What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. If you guys aren't subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And in the last clips, as you guys just saw, I wind up getting both axles installed. I actually started it the same day, so this is actually a few days down. It's been a few days since I installed the axles. So I started it and I attempted to put it in gear, but for some reason there seems to be something wrong with the clutch system. So I'm gonna go ahead and start diagnosing the problem with you guys. So first, let me show you the problem and start attacking it. So let's see if the car starts. That battery fucking sucks. All right, so let me swap out the battery from the Integra over to the hatch, get it started, and show you guys the problem that I was getting. All right, so old battery is out, new battery is in. Now let's start it, and let me show you guys the issue. So just off of initial feeling, the pedal basically goes straight to the floor. There's only about an inch or two that you could actually feel some hydraulic pressure, so that's not too good. All right, so clutch is in, right? Clutch is in. All the way pressed in, right? Does not want to go into gear, reverse. So that means that the clutch is not disengaging. So I think there's still air in the system. first thing I'm gonna do is gravity bleed the slave and see if we could get any air that might be in the lines out and go from there. So let me get this sucker loose and start bleeding the clutch system. Alright, so in order to gravity bleed your clutch system, you're going to need two simple items, and that's going to be an 8mm wrench and some manual clutch fluid, or if you have some brake fluid, that would work as well. So the first step you got to do is remove the cap to your reservoir and just make sure that is topped up. So you go ahead and do that. All right. So once you top up your fluid, the next step is to grab an 8mm wrench and simply loosen up your bleeder, this little bleeder screw on your clutch slave. So you want to just loosen it up and just gonna let it bleed until you get a steady stream. Alright, so the reason that wasn't working was because the clutch pedal was actually all the way to the ground. So I'm gonna try this again, and hopefully we should get a, well, first is gonna be some drips. You just want to make sure that you are topping off your reservoir as it lowers, and once you keep doing that, you're actually going to start seeing a steady stream. So once you have a steady stream, that should be an indication that you don't have any more air in your system. So you would just close the bleeder screw and you should be good from there. So let's get this sucker loose and see how we're looking. So, all right, there it is. So we're getting the drips now. And the fluid is actually pretty dirty. So, good thing we're actually bleeding all this dirty fluid out. In other words, contaminated fluid. Alright guys, so after 30 minutes of diagnosing the issue, I finally came to the source. So the slave, from the outside, doesn't seem like anything is wrong with it. There is no visual leakage or any type of wet spots. Well, this is all from like me spraying PB Blaster on it. And yeah, from the outside there is no visual signs of leakage, but as soon as you remove this, yeah, there it is. The leak is internal. So how did I come to this conclusion? Well, I'll show you guys real quick. So the first step, as you guys saw, was to actually bleed the system, because like I said earlier, the clutch was not disengaging, being that the pedal was actually grabbing down low. So, you know, I attempted to bleed the system, and for some reason, when I was bleeding the system, I was only getting drips instead of a steady stream. So, you know, I actually tried. I put down the camera, tried bleeding it myself, and you know, for some reason, still the same thing. Went back to square one. So once I ruled out that air being in the system was causing the low clutch pedal, once I ruled that out, next step was to diagnose the the slave and the master. So what I did was, in order to diagnose the master, I simply took a vice grip, which I have down there, and clamped it right before the slave, so that way I would create a blockage in between the actual slave and the master. So once you like, if you could easily grab a hose clamp and just clamp it down, but I use some vice grips instead to clamp this hose. So once you do that, if the master cylinder is good, your clutch pedal will be stiff. You know, if you try to press it down, this blockage right here should cause the fluid to back up and the clutch should be stiff. And if it goes down, that means you have a internal leak in your master. So I quickly attached the vice grip over to the hose, clamped it down, and sure enough, the clutch master cylinder was good. So, you know, I tried, you know, from the outside, I was like, it can't be the slave, because I did some other techniques on diagnosing the slave, and that seemed to work. So, you know, I was kind of iffy on changing the slave, but luckily I have a spare slave laying around. So I was like, you know what? I have another spare slave, so let me just remove this one, being that the master cylinder is still good because of the test that I performed. So I was like, you know what? Let me just remove the this slave. And sure enough, once I removed it, the next step that I decided to take was to remove this little piston right here to see if there was internal bleeding, internal leakage. And sure enough, there was some leakage going on internally. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this new slave, and hopefully we should get this car running and go from there. So let me get the slave installed. All right, guys, so clutch slave is installed. So I'm gonna go for the big test and see if the pedal has any difference. Just close this. See if I can get you guys some light. All right, let's see. Well, that's not bad. See, now it engages right there, and I still have about, let's say, another 3 to 4 inches before I hit the ground. Before it was like, it was engaging right there. Now it's right here. So got all that right there. So that feels pretty good. Hopefully the clutch should disengage and we should be able to get the car in gear. So not sure if I'm gonna be able to drive like this. Let's try it out. See if we can move this car. Actually, let me grab one of those seats, bring it in here, and see if I could drive this car out. All right, much better. Now I could actually see through the mirrors. All right, let's get this car started and see if we can move it. All right, let's see if it goes into gear. Nice. Well, that's in gear if you guys couldn't tell. That's neutral, second. Nice. All right, so let's see if we can back it up. So let's press on the clutch. Clutch is down. See if it goes into reverse. Oh, it's in. It's in. Let's see if we can move the car. Oh, e-brake was on. Oh, car's moving. I just hit the table behind me. Now let's move it up. I'll set you guys up right here. Let's see if we can move this car out of here. This motherfucker has no power. And the linkage on this shit is all fucked up. Oh my god. That clutch is horrible. I just dumped the clutch. Holy shit. This clutch is horrible. This thing sounds like a Volkswagen Beetle. Holy shit. Alright, I'm gonna dump the clutch. Actually, not here. Not next to the Teggy. That wouldn't be too smart. Alright. Car is moving. Shut this bad boy off. Let's see if we can get you guys some light. But hey, so far so good. The car, shit, wrong switch. The car has finally moved under its own power. Gotta say, it's not even all that good. The clutch feels horrible. I could like dump the clutch and it would take off so smoothly. I might have to bleed the clutch a little bit more, just to see where we're at from there. And also the engine definitely has a misfire. So that's going to be another thing that I'm at. Oh shit, I can't breathe. So that's going to be another thing that I'm going to be diagnosing soon. Honestly, I'm not even sure if it's worth it to diagnose, to waste time and diagnose the single cam when honestly that's not even the whole plan. The whole plan was to get a nitrous kit. Well, get this car running first. Once I got it running, then I was going to nitrous it and blow the single cam up. And once that was done, I'm gonna grab that motor, which is an H23 non-VTEC motor, and slap the ITR transmission that I have in a Teggy with a so basically an H2B kit with an H2B kit. So that motor with the ITR B series trans, and put that into this car, and also have that on the bottle. So yeah, so me getting the single cam actually like running and like to its full potential is not in my intentions. I'm actually planning on blowing the single cam up. So I don't know, I'm gonna see if it's like too much work, if I have to do too much work to the engine to get it back to its you know, I don't want to say 100%, but oh shit, I got a little snot booger. But yeah, if I could get the single cam running at least on all 4 cylinders, then we're gonna go ahead and slap the nitrous kit on here and blow it up, see what she has in her, and then start building the H2B setup. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the hatch. Now I'm just gonna hoon around and show you guys the garbage clutch that this car has. I literally like fucking let go of this shit and it took off like 2 inches. So let me see. I'm honestly gonna rev it to the moon, dump the clutch, see what happens. So Let me put you guys on this tripod and see if we could get you guys a nice little clip. All right, so like I just said, the clutch is pretty bad. I still might have to bleed it just one more time just to get the rest of the air out of the system. But you know, just to show you guys an example real quick, I'm actually going to rev the piss out of this motor and dump the clutch. See what kind of results we get. I guess that's not that bad, right? Well, if you guys take a look here, when I went to reverse, both tires actually fucking spun. It's pretty sick if you ask me. So I guess it's actually not that bad. Clutch is fairly good. I might have to just bleed it just a little bit more, but so far so good. So far it's showing up to its honing capabilities, and hopefully we should have some more fun with it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. So yeah, if you guys want to see more on both builds, on the hatch and the Teggy, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Be sure to hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully we should get the nitrous kit.